Hello, this is T West, and welcome to Afro Synergy.
How are you?
I'm so wonderful.
It's so nice of you to come all this way to London so that I could interview you in my own backyard.
Yes.
And the fact you had Glastonbury last night
had nothing to do with
a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
Now, I sat and watched you, had a couple of beers, turned on the television, and watched Glastonbury. You were the first ever woman to headline at Glastonbury, an amazing achievement. Yes. What was it like for you last night?
Well, you know, I'm still walking on the clouds. I'm still kind of shocked. I can't believe what happened to me happened yesterday. And I think it's because I've seen Glastonbury in photographs, and I've seen it, you know, when I've traveled here and on television, and only amazing rock stars perform, and it's just the coolest festival. And I was able to see my husband perform there a couple years ago, and it was one of the most exciting nights. He had a bit of controversy, and he came out and performed Oasis song, and the crowd went crazy, and I thought, oh my God, I'm just so honored to be here, and prayed that one day I'd be able to do it. And 3 years later, I was asked to headline and be the first woman and first African-American woman.
That's the amazing thing. That's never mind any other criteria. You were the first woman to ever play at this incredible event.
Yeah.
To ever headline it.
It's a little strange when you think about it, but I'm just happy that I'm the first woman. And it was so many women out there, and it was incredible because the men usually, when I have them do certain parts, they're trying to be cool, but they were like just belting out the songs, and everybody was just united. And
well, let's watch a little clip from last night, and then I'll ask you your reaction to this.
Okay.
I mean, watching that, I was struck by several things. One was the glint in your eye when you said you'd always wanted to be a rock star. Like you finally felt you were a proper rocker.
Exactly.
Is that what Glastonbury does to you? It makes you feel that?
It's the mud, it's all of the beautiful people. Everyone is...
Well, a lot of them are quite ugly, actually.
No, I love it. It's not about fashion. It's not about trying to be cool. Everyone just is cool. And that's what I love about it. It's not about your production. It's not about how many hits you have. It's about good music and everything coming from the inside. And everyone has so much love and appreciation for a good performance. And you know, I love when I can not have to think about all the other things that are not as interesting, and I can just belt out the songs and dance from the heart, and I know that it's appreciated.
So here's the weird thing. Watching you last night, you seemed about 20 feet tall. You were like this giantess coming at me in my big widescreen TV, right? And then I meet you, and you're quite tiny, aren't you?
People say that I'm a lot smaller than they think I am on TV. But I think they say that to everyone. They say it to other girls in Destiny's Child. They say it to my husband, to my mother. I think it's just the television.
I mean, the thing that struck me watching you about I've never watched a whole Beyonce concert before, so I was fascinated to see how you go about this. A, the energy levels that you kept up were extraordinary. B, the size of your heels. How did you stay up? Isn't it really wet that stage?
It was very slippery. And the first song, I was like, oh, okay, am I going to make it? I thought I was going to have to switch shoes. And I actually had wellies on the side of the stage just in case. But I've been practicing in heels since I was 13 years old. And to be honest, it's kind of second nature. The heels are second nature. It's just a part of it. Whenever I rehearse, I have on my heels. And
the whole theme of last night was, I don't like the phrase girl power, but it was about the empowerment of women.
Yes.
You were like strutting around that stage, making men like me feeling pretty useless at home. Like, I have no right to even be near this woman.
Not at all.
It's quite intimidating, this kind of thing you do.
No, but I definitely feel that it is my job to empower women. And I remember having this dream that my band was all females, and I told my male band at the time, I'm sorry, guys. y'all are so talented, but you're not women. And they all had wigs on. They came to the last performance like, we can do it. But I found these incredible women and incredible background singers. And I do have men on the stage as well. I have great male dancers.
Washing your shoe heels for you?
And no, they're some incredible dancers. And it's great to have that camaraderie. I feel like I learned so much from the other musicians, and it makes me want to be a better musician.
What do you feel when you're there and you've got 175,000 people going crazy? This is never going to happen to me. Much as I'd love to think it will, it isn't. Those days are over. When you walk out and you get this surge of energy from a crowd like that, you've never performed to a crowd that big.
No.
What does it feel like?
Well, before I performed, I was so scared. I was like a leaf. I was really, really afraid. And I had to just say, forget that it's 175,000 people and pretend it's just like the show you did 2 days ago and you've been doing this your whole life, and just have fun. And, you know, we all got together, said our prayer, and we took our breaths and tried to exhale all the negativity, and I just had to tell myself I deserve it. I'm a diva. I've worked hard, and I psyched myself up. And once you hear the crowd and you get past the first couple of minutes, then it's time to rock. It's time to have a good time and enjoy it.
So I love that phrase, I'm a diva. You say that proudly.
I do.
A lot of stars, they sort of shy away. I'm not a diva. You love being a diva.
Well, because I've met what a diva is supposed to be. And I've met, you know, Patti LaBelle, and I've met Tina Turner, and I've met these incredible women.
What is a true diva?
Graceful and talented and strong and fearless and brave, and someone with humility. And I think, you know, it's an appropriate time to be a diva. And, you know, I did not show up in my costume that I wore yesterday because
I was kind of hoping you might. It wasn't really a costume.
Yes,
it was more like a bit of beachwear. You slapped the jacket on.
No, it was not. It was a costume. And I did not wear that because it's appropriate for the stage. But there is a certain mentality and a certain aura that's appropriate for the stage, but it's only appropriate for the stage.
So what went into the thinking for the outfit for me then? I'm fascinated. I mean, when you woke up, you thought, it's Piers, it's CNN.
You know, I just tried on a few dresses, and I liked the color.
Yeah, come on, humor me. How many did you try on before you thought?
I tried on two. I tried on the red suit, and I tried on this, and I said, I like the color. It makes me feel happy.
What made you think that was the right one for me?
It's all about the color. It's a beautiful day. It's the warmest day here.
It's the warmest day in Britain for 5 years.
Exactly.
You brought the heat, lady.
Yes.
What I'm fascinated about with your new album is the fact that you took this year off before you did this. This is a woman who's worked so hard in the way that your parents did before you. When you had this year off, what did you learn about yourself?
I learned a lot about myself. The biggest thing I learned is I love to perform. I love music. I love what I do. I love singing in the studio and writing songs and coming up with video treatments, to the point that during that year, I do not count the 72 songs I recorded as work, because it's what I was born to do. And I learned balance. I learned the importance of taking time for myself. And I was moving around so much that I had no idea that I really have 16 Grammys. Like, I've heard that, and I got up and accepted my awards, but I didn't realize what an amazing accomplishment that was.
You never had time, presumably.
No.
It's just this treadmill.
Yes.
The more successful you get, the less time you have to enjoy anything.
Exactly.
So finally you went, enough. I'm having a year out. I'm going to enjoy what I've achieved and a bit of real life. What was the most fun you had in the real world?
I did everything. You know, I definitely enjoyed the simple things like, you know, driving and picking my nephew up from school, traveling but not working, and actually visiting museums and seeing ballets, and having great conversations with people on the plane.
Really?
Yeah, just having normal...
Why do I never get to sit next to people like you on a plane? Can you let me know your schedule next time?
Okay.
So you're on some plane and you start talking to some random person?
Yes, and you know what? It's great when people really don't know who you are. And it's funny because people sometimes say, I'm sorry, I'm just realizing I didn't know. And I'm like, that's why the conversation was so great. Because you just forget how wonderful it is to...
When they ask you what you do, what do you say?
They didn't.
You just have a normal conversation?
Not until, you know, people start getting weird and asking for pictures, and they're like, what is going on? But I visited, you know, the pyramids, and I was able to sing at the top of the pyramid.
No, I heard you sing Ave Maria.
I did.
While in one of the tombs of the pyramids.
Yes.
And it just echoed around.
It was...
What a moment.
It was beautiful. And who would ever think that I get an opportunity to do that? I was there alone with my family, and, you know...
Any truth in the rumor that you and Jay-Z are having joint pyramids built? To be remembered by? That's just rumor?
That's a good one. We're gonna have to...
I just made it up.
Okay.
But I thought it was quite a good one.
It is a good one. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. It might stick.
Now, we're going to have a little break. And when we come back, I'm going to show you some incredible footage of a 6-year-old Beyonce Knowles performing. Where it all started.
Where it all started.
We run this mother. Girls, we run this mother. Girls, who run the world? Girls, who run the world? Girls, who run the world?
I think I'm bad. Beyonce's my name, and love is my game. So take a sip of my potion and do it in slow motion. She thinks she's bad. Babe, don't make me mad.
That is hilarious. I mean, even at 6, you were showing off.
I was.
Seriously, very precocious
It's
performer.
very embarrassing, actually. That's not something you need everyone to see.
But even as a kid, can you remember the thought process when you were that young? Did you always know, I am going to be a star, I don't care what it takes?
I didn't at all know that I was going to be a star, but I did know that I felt very comfortable when I was on the stage. I was really shy, and I did not speak much. I was more comfortable with adults because my mother owned a hair salon, and I stayed in her salon. I was in grown people's business all day trying to listen to their conversations. And when I got on the stage, you know, my mother put me in dance lessons, and I really loved it. And I think, you know, when they saw me perform, they were like, wait a minute, she's like in heaven. And they realized that it was where I could step out of my shell, and I just felt the most like myself.
I mean, I thought that last night watching you. You just
Really?
seemed like in utopia for you.
Absolutely.
Like, it just couldn't get better. And yet I keep hearing how shy you are. Last night, I mean, I've never seen such self-confidence in almost any performer. Where do you get it from? I mean, how do you create that kind of aura when by nature you're not really like that?
I don't know. I think for one, I'm not shy anymore. I am the person at the dinner party that is quiet and observing and having a one-on-one conversation. I get embarrassed when it's a lot of people and a lot of eyes, and I'm still that way. I wouldn't say shy, but now, you know, on the stage, I've been doing it for a while, and it's my place to be me and to be free, and I don't feel like I'm being judged. I feel like it doesn't matter how irritated I am or angry I am or excited or in love or whatever emotion. When I get on the stage, I'm just pure.